Thank you, Brooke. It's a First Alert Action Night as you take a live look from our tower camera on the northwest side. The rain is moving out, and now we're bracing for a chilly night ahead. All right, let's bring back 13 First Alert Chief Meteorologist Aaron Christensen. Oh my gosh, you know, it's when it gets too cold, the parka comes out, the second one comes out. I mean, for many of us in southern Arizona, that's the way it is.
You never know by that picture with those clear skies that we had that storm system blow through today, bringing the rain, the mountain snow, even had a little bit of hail in some areas. But now with those clear skies, those temps are going to cool off very quickly. All the heat, relatively speaking, we picked up earlier will re-radiate out of the atmosphere. So we do have hard freeze warnings and freeze warnings in effect as we head through tomorrow morning. So the hard freeze warning covers most of Pima and Pinal counties. The freeze warning you're seeing up in the Phoenix area, that reserved for portions of Maricopa County. So Oro Valley through Tucson, Vail, all the way west to the Nation. That's where we'll have those temperatures at 28 degrees or colder and staying there for several hours at a time. Some folks might be wondering, well, what's really the difference here between that freeze warning up in Maricopa County and the hard freeze here? It really just comes down to the temperature. The hard freeze warning means even colder, so 28 degrees or lower across a widespread area for several hours at a time, and that does mean that unprotected vegetation and plumbing would likely be damaged. So 28 is what we'll settle in at overnight through tomorrow morning in the Tucson area. That's 13 degrees below normal for us, and it does make this a First Alert Action Night really across all of southern Arizona. Wilcox, you'll dip to 14, 17 in Benson, 16 for Douglas, 22 in Bisbee, and 24 Sierra Vista. So those actions to take if you haven't already. Make sure those sensitive plants are covered. You might want to just run outside, check those frost claws, make sure they're still covering up the plants. We have had some strong winds today. Make sure they're pretty well secure, as well as whatever you're using to cover up those outdoor pipes. Of course, people, pets have to be indoors when it's this cold. We're at 50 degrees right now in Tucson, clear skies, Sierra Vista, and 41, 38 at this hour in Wilcox. Quick check of that radar. We're seeing most of that rain and moisture moving out, a little still lingering over the Catalinas and the Rincons. And in the earlier frames of that radar imagery, you see our lightning detection network picked up a few lightning strikes over the Catalinas, a rare weather phenomenon heard in the Catalinas today. Thunder snow. It's not often we get to talk about that here in Arizona, but our meteorologist Corey Kowitz did make a phone call up to the general store in Mount Lemmon, and they confirmed they heard the thunder while the snow was falling. And it's just unusual because typically when we have that kind of instability, the cold air sitting on top of warm air, it's too warm for snow, we usually get rain. So we're familiar with that convective or thunderstorm process. But in this case, that air right over the mountain was relatively warmer than the colder air moving in aloft. So you get that convective process, so you hear that thunder, but you see snow as opposed to rain. Pretty cool. Your TEP Clean Energy Report, 521,302 homes powered by the sun and the wind as of this morning. There's that 7-day forecast. We're back to mostly sunny skies, 60s over the weekend, and that means we're back to normal.